Hey, what is up, guys? It is Card Shuffler 99 here. Today, we're going to show you guys an awesome mind-reading box trick. But before we get into that, we will be announcing the giveaway winner for the iPhone 11 tomorrow or the next day. And we do have a new giveaway going on our channel. We're giving away a MacBook Air. So, if you guys want to be entered, make sure to like the video, be subscribed to the channel, turn those notifications on, and make sure you comment at least one time on our channel, and you'll be entered in the giveaway. Anyways, Adam, take it away with this really cool trick.
All right, Robert, so you see here, we have our special mind-reading box. Now, today, I am going to have you start off the trick by shuffling the deck of cards. So please go ahead, give that a nice shuffle.
Maybe a little.
Whenever you're good, just let me know.
All right, maybe one more cut.
Just set the deck down whenever you're ready.
All right.
All right, perfect. I want you to go ahead and just cut the deck in half. So just go lift a portion of the cards. Perfect. Now, I want you to go ahead, pick either half. You're going to take it with you, and I'm going to have you go ahead and take any card out of the deck that you would want.
All right, so I'm going to go through here. I can take any card I want.
Yeah, once you're done, you're going to place it right here.
Let's see, I like this one.
Yep, whenever you're done, you're going to place it there.
I'll make sure the camera sees it.
Perfect. Now place the rest of the deck on top. Perfect. Now, this is where we're going to go ahead and we're going to use our mind reading box. And we're going to take this box and allow ourselves to read your mind. Here's what I'm going to do, Robert. You got to pick any card. You got to shuffle the deck. I did not touch the deck until I just put it into the box. Now, I'm going to try to visualize, going to try to picture your card in my head. I'm just going to think here. So I want you, Robert, look at me, and we're going to go red or black. I'm sort of leaning on the red side. Was it a red card?
Yes, it was.
Okay, now we're going to go value-wise here. I'm going to go high. We're going to go low. Now, I'm starting to think that this is a bit of a tricky value. Is it an ace, maybe? Because aces could be high, but they could also be low. Was it an ace?
Yeah, it was an ace.
All right, so now we got diamonds, and we got hearts. So, Robert, tell me now. We're going to go diamonds, hearts, diamonds, hearts. I think I'm going to lean towards the ace of diamonds. Was that your card, Robert?
Yes, indeed, that was my card.
That was your card. All right, guys, that is the entire trick. Hope you enjoyed it. Now, we're going to go ahead and jump into this tutorial. So, it's a pretty cool trick. This is one that I actually enjoy doing a lot.
The gimmick, the mind reading box, is going to cost you about $65.
Yeah, it is a pretty expensive gimmick, isn't it? All right, so here is going to be the secret. I'm about to show it to you guys. Don't even blink. Now, before you guys say anything, this is salt. So, this is actually the secret to this really cool, mind-boggling, mentalism-style card trick. So, this is what you're going to need for the trick. You're going to need some salt, and you're going to need the mind-reading box and a deck of cards. Once you have all of that present, you are ready to go for this really cool science experiment. This is how we're going to start the trick off. You're going to start, the deck can be completely shuffled. It doesn't matter. You can have the spectator shuffle the deck. Doesn't really matter. And again, there's so many different ways you go about doing this same style effect. So that's completely up to you. And I'll give you guys a few ideas as well as how you can go ahead and make this a really cool looking effect. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to teach the bare bone effect. Going to do exactly what we did in the performance. So you could start it within the box. The box, if you couldn't pick up on it, has nothing to do with the trick. It's just there for show. Mind reading box. All right. What you're going to do, start out, have the deck shuffled. And what we did in the trick was we had the spectator go ahead and cut the deck in half. That's just our way of setting the trick up. And again, it doesn't really matter if you start it like that or not. They're going to then, you can have them take either pile, it doesn't matter. And you're going to have them go ahead and select any card. We have a double backer in here. Let's take that out. So, you can have them select any card they want. Let's go with the ace of clubs right now. We're going to go with the ace of clubs. What they're going to do with this ace of clubs is they're going to place it on this card. Now, you'll notice in the performance, I actually took my finger and I touched exactly where I wanted them to place the card. Now, from the spectator's point of view, this shouldn't be anything out of the ordinary, right? I'm just literally tapping the card and saying, let's just have you put it right here. And that would be normal for most card tricks anyway. But what I'm really doing here is I'm actually setting up a way that I can cut to the card immediately. Now, there's actually a couple different ways you could do this. In real magic in general, there's so many different ways you could have the magician basically just cut to the card. One of the popular ways is using a crimp card. Another popular way is to use a shorter lengthened card, basically by taking like a scissor or an X-Acto knife and cutting off a portion of the card. Those would all work as a way to cut to the card, but the way that doesn't work is being able to have the spectator just shuffle the deck and handle the deck pretty much the entire time except for the end, right? So that's why this effect is so powerful, is they can shuffle the cards, they can split it up, they can pick the cards, set it down, close it, and you basically don't have any control from that point. A crimp card would require you to know where the crimp card is, right? So you're going to need to know where that card is in order to be able to cut to it later. This is going to be a sort of on-the-fly type of moment, and this is actually something you could do even like at a restaurant, for example, right? Because you have salt there as well. You could actually probably use pepper. I've never actually tried it with that. But the principal idea here, if we're using the Ace of Clubs as our selected card, is you're going to use your finger to get some salt on your finger, okay? So you can see here, I actually have some salt on the tip of my finger just by tapping it in this little pile of salt I have here. Now, when I tapped on the card, all I'm doing is I'm trying to get as much of that salt onto that card as I can. Now, if you really, really wanted to, you could actually just pinch a little bit of salt, that way you get more on it, right? And this would enable you to then, when you touch it, you could see that there's a decent amount of salt. I'm not sure if the camera's actually going to pick that up. You can see that there's a decent amount of salt right in the middle of that card. And that's actually going to enable us to cut to the card later. This is not going to require a crimp. It's not going to require you to cut any of the cards. It's just going to need some salt. So after they go ahead through the deck, they pick their selection. It's the Ace of Clubs we're going to go with right now. They're going to take this card and you're going to have them place it on that salt card. Now the rest of the cards can go right on top. So what does this do essentially? You'll see is this is going to establish a break in the cards. Now, again, you'll see here it's very, very hard to tell where that break is, okay? It's really, really hard to tell. Now, that's the point because you don't want the spectators to be able to see it, but it is at a position where I can just literally cut to the cards. Now, the salt basically fell off at that point, but I literally did just lift up and cut to the cards. So the more salt you get in here, the better. So let's say I cut right back to that part. We have the Ace of Clubs here. The Ace of Clubs goes on top. I'm going to try to make this as obvious as possible, but you can see here, this is where the salt is breaking. Okay, so at that point, I put a lot of salt in. You can see it's going to hold the cards slightly apart. Even if I were to basically, look at that. If I'm to press the cards together, you could still see that that break is present there because obviously you have these little salt bits inside of that. What this is going to allow you to do is literally just cut to the card. Once you cut to the card, you're going to bring it to the bottom. So you just go ahead and do like a little swing cut, get it to the bottom. They're not going to know where it is, okay? It's literally on the bottom. They're not going to know, and nor they really shouldn't know, right? They shouldn't be following that closely at that point. Once you put it there, you're going to cut the deck. It's going to be on the bottom, and this is where you're going to go ahead and put the cards in the box. Once you put it in the mind-reading box, okay, you're going to use this little position here where you can peek at the cards. Cards are going to be right there. You can see I can see the Ace of Clubs as I put it in. Again, they shouldn't even suspect the cards on the bottom. They thought that it was in the middle. Maybe you just cut it, shuffled it, whatever you want. Even if you really, really wanted to, you could have just cut it and then done more shuffles and just kept it on the bottom. It's completely up to you. Close the box up. Again, the box literally has nothing to do with the trick. But at this point, once you put it in, you already have the entire trick done for the most part. Really, all that's left is for you to go ahead and play around with their minds a little bit. I like to go play around with the colors of the cards first. You know, you go red and black, you go values, and then you could go to the actual suit. Doesn't matter what order, honestly, you go in, but I like to play around in that order. And there's so many different ways in terms of the effect that you can use in terms of like mentalism, right? That's just one sort of system there where you can sort of say, okay, I'm thinking, you know, maybe ace, 2, 3, you know, you just have them look at you in the face. They're trying to lie to you. You're trying to like pretend like you have no idea what the card is, even though you really do. And that's really going to be the main idea of that entire trick. But that is really it at that point. At that point, you can just take the cards out. The entire trick is already done. Now, just a small recommendation if you really, really need to, because you can see it does leave a little bit of a mess. I'm not sure if you can see the salt there. What a lot of people do is they'll put like a white piece of paper or something on top. Now, that's going to help blend the salt in a little bit better. That way, you're not going to be able to see too much of what's going on. Again, just a recommendation. It's not completely necessary, especially if you're in a dark restaurant with a dark style table. They're probably not going to see the salt anyway, especially if you're not using too much. But that is really it. Don't forget, guys, enter our giveaway for the MacBook Air. We will be announcing the iPhone giveaway very, very soon. The winner's already been contacted, actually, but we will be officially announcing it very soon. And this is Card Shuffler 99, guys. Peace out.